I'm wondering if we had this, and not in our time, but in history, where someone actually really did do that.
Fred Hampton. I mean, the Fred Hampton, the Black Panther.
Okay, so that's what you meant.
That's why.
I didn't get the reference.
That's why they, executed him in his sleep. He started creating coalitions that were not divided by race and religion and politics. He started going to the working class neighborhoods of all different races and basically trying to explain, like, it's class warfare. That's what they need. Like, they need all this other stuff so we turn on each other and then we're never unified.
Mm-hmm.
But if the working class body could just kind of put away some differences, imagine how unstoppable we would be. Imagine how unified we would be.
Yeah.
And the minute that got too powerful, they broke down his door and shot him in the back of the head while he was sleeping. It's like, and so, like,
who do you think they was?
Oh, I mean, it was the law enforcement. They said that. Oh, I mean, like, it's pretty well documented that they essentially just had, like, to the degree of, like, a fake warrant to just go in, and then they said he had a gun, and then his significant other, because I don't want to mess up whether it was his wife or his girlfriend, she basically was like, they yanked me out of bed, shot him while he was sleeping, and then threw a gun in the bed, and then basically, like, used, like, a lie of a warrant to, like, get in from, like, someone higher above them, basically being like, get rid of this guy because it's becoming a problem.
Do you think that's what happened with Epstein? And not to transition too quick, but, like, do you think he's alive or do you think he's dead?
I think he's dead because it's more beneficial for a lot of those people that he is dead. The degree to which I would debate, like, if it was suicide versus, like, someone planning to snuff him out. But I think right now it's more beneficial to them that he's dead, as things are starting to the seams are starting to break a little bit. Particularly less about America. But the biggest problem I feel like they're all going to have is all these other countries that are either pushing people out or opening up investigations.
Yeah.
Might get access to the same files eventually and then be like, okay, so we'll just release everything. And I think that becomes scary for a lot of Americans that are named on all that sort of stuff.
I agree with you completely. I also want to take your opinion on this because I've been thinking about it for a while as well. It's like, you have so many allegations as well. And because we've been lied to so much about it and so much has been redacted and it's just so hard to...
Oh, yeah, it's impossible.
...even tell what is the truth at this point. Well,
that's why it's like, I think it's less about needing, like, every individual to read. They've released 3 million that are redacted to some degree, but there's still 3 million
more that we have no idea.
Which then I also get that, like, it is true that, like, any kind of photo, video evidence, it becomes illegal for us to watch that. You know what I mean? So, like, there's definitely, like, anything that involves, like, children, sexual abuse. Like, I do understand that, like...
But they shouldn't have redacted the...
you can't just put, like, in the public eye. I get that. Like, and I wouldn't say that... I'm sure there are tons of stuff. But if you're telling me that's the reason why you can't release it, then I'm also then wondering why people are not being arrested. Because you're basically saying... Even though I can't watch it, you're saying there's proof and that there's horrible proof,
right? And
things that the public can't witness because it would make them complicit in the crime of viewing child pornography or child sexual assault or whatever, to the degree of whatever other depraved things that are happening. So, okay, I don't want to see that. But if you're saying that that's why we can't see it, then that means there are crimes. Right. There's nobody being arrested for that here. And now the more other countries start arresting people that are being named in that, we look even worse. Yeah. It's like
how is it that Prince Andrew got arrested before anyone here?
The former, one of the former, like, prime ministers of Norway just killed himself. Or look, he didn't successfully kill himself. He tried to kill himself and didn't succeed. And is now on suicide watch. And it's like,
see, okay,
because it's like he knows he did awful things.
And I don't want to hop around too much. Sure. And I want to go back to this because this is a great point. But Ghislaine Maxwell got pushed to a prison camp, right?
Oh, like where they gave her like a better...
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what happened, though? Why she moved there, right? That happened after Epstein's death. She was like, oh, I got dipped. And who dips?
Sure.
If it's not something that you're scared about because something must have happened, and you're like, nah, this is not about to happen to me.
Sure. And then,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, and then now she's in more of like a white collar prison.
Yeah, and there was
like because they're basically like, I mean, this is what blows my mind is like, regardless if I get to read all these documents or not.
Yeah.
The idea that people can't put two and two together, that like, if the current president's lawyer meets with her without documentation of what happens in that conversation, and at the end of that conversation, she's moved to a white-collar criminal facility. Mm-hmm. I don't need to know what the conversation is. It's like so very obvious to a degree that it's either helping cover up people he knows, him himself. It doesn't matter which option you choose. They're all pretty terrible options. It's the reason why that would be happening. You know, it's like it's like the same thing with like, it's, you know, it's like 14 of the people in his current presidential administration at some degree that has a job is like all over those documents. It's like, yeah, it's because they're insulating themselves against the damning information of like what's in there. And not just because of him, because other people he knows in very influential, wealthy spaces are like, don't let my name come out. Like, don't let, like, because then the whole house of cards goes down. Which is like, you know, the same thing where they're like, if they had all this information 4 years ago, why didn't they release it? It's like, well, because she was still on trial, so it couldn't be public. And then once she was convicted, it takes time to then become public. And it's like, that's not a political divisive statement to be like, these are whether you like that process or not, is if she's on trial, this heap of information is being used in that court case. That doesn't mean that it's currently being circulated through like Congress. She gets convicted, and then eventually that moratorium on that stuff lifts, and then it's up to the sitting administration or the FBI director or the attorney general to decide how much of that can be let to the public or not. And then now we're in a situation. Another mind-boggling thing is that one of the two guys that's led the release is a Republican, super ultra conservative, Thomas Massie. On all 99% of the things that guy believes in, I don't. But he's one of those ones where you're like, I guess at least he draws a line, or like his conviction of like, you do not harm children, you do not, is a real thing to him, and that the party line doesn't fucking matter to him. And so that's their biggest fear was like, if we have one rabid dog in our own side that can campaign enough to get signatures to get this released, you look even worse. Because now you're not releasing them, and a guy on your own side is your biggest adversary now. And then you're delaying. It's just like, oh, it's like, I don't even need a conspiracy theory. Like, there's enough of the out in the open, like, corruption and cover up to be like, I don't necessarily need to read what the documents say to be like, 14 people of the current administration probably shouldn't have jobs still if I'm watching every other country make people step down. And we're sitting here like, what about us? It's like, it's wild times.
No, it's crazy.
Want to have like a crazy fact? My friend doesn't watch this, but do you remember before Epstein died or didn't, whatever people want to believe, he was at one point in a different cell, and his cellmate tried to beat him to death. I met that person. I know who that. Like
he was an ex-cop, right?
Yes, who murdered people.
Oh shit! All right, so tell me more about that. How the?
I don't want to say his name.
No, don't say.
Really hope my friend.
Everyone could just research it though.
My friend doesn't necessarily watch this because it's probably a sort of subject for like his family to
deal with.
What's the easiest way to even tell the story? So like, I work in production. Years ago. We had like a first look deal for like reality show ideas because we had like one that had a couple seasons that we had produced. And so you make pitch decks and you start to be like, what could be the next thing? But it had to be reality based because that's how we got the representation. And like one day I'm like, hey, my friend, and this massive guy is bringing like an adoptive dog, and he's like fucking jacked, but like super cute with the dog and everything, and drop it off, and I'm like, who's that guy? And it's like, oh, he knows our family because he was a cop through another relative that was a cop. Him and his mom run an animal adoption farm in like upstate New York.
Wow.
And they were adopting a dog from him, but they knew him since they were kids. He's, you know, like, because he knew the family so closely because of the connection through being a cop. And then we did a whole pitch deck on this guy. We sent a cameraman up to the farm, interviewed him, and the whole idea was that he was like a gentle giant who ran this farm with his sick mother.
Damn, that's so crazy.
And didn't have time to like have a life, like find love, all this sort of stuff. And they did. They ran this horses, all this, like a massive farm where they just rescued animals. And he was like this intimidating guy, and like basically would go rescue like abused dogs, and his presence, his form of being a cop, all this sort of stuff. We're like, this is like a perfect kind of pilot pitch.
Wow.
So we do this whole thing along with 10 other ideas, and we, you know, and it didn't make it further than that. But then like years go by.
Wow. And
the cameraman is the one that sends me the article.
Holy shit.
And he goes, dude, isn't this guy, like him being arrested?
Right.
He's like, isn't this the guy you guys sent me up when we interviewed? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. And I'm like reading this, like, arrested for like double homicide. And they were burying bodies on that farm. They were basically like, oh shit, using connections to find drug dealers. And basically like the reverse sting. Kill them, take the supply and the money, bury them on the farm.
Holy shit.
And so this guy's like, he's like, dude, I might have been like standing above these graves. Like up there, you know,
right.
like. And then you're like, all right, that happens. Then like a year or two go by, and he's the one that
he's in the same cell as Jeffrey
when they
Epstein.
got put in the same cell.
Yeah.
You know, they would say a lot of times, like in jail, so like people that are known to have either, you know, abused women and children are kind of like become prime targets.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, I'm never getting it. He's in jail for life.
Right.
And this is the guy that I'm being told is like the main, like, you know, pedophile number one, and like took his chance to fucking try to snuff him out. And I was like, it's like the craziest kind of weird, like, I don't know, 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it definitely is that. The weirdest, like, what are the chances?
It's the weirdest kind of.
And now I'm in that shit. It's like, that's so crazy though.
It's like the strangest, like thing.
Yo, I know the guy that knows the guy that almost.
No, so it's like a weird thing, but like all, you know, but then like with all type of stories and these hyper fascinating things, like I preface by saying, like, kind of what my friend was watching, because like there's a sting to people that like have known someone their whole life that seems like he's just like something else,
right? And
then you find out like
completely different,
he's something else,
right? But
you know,
more so what it looked like.
Sure, and, you know, and then kind of like the, you know, and so it's like, yeah, it's like a wild sort of kind of strange thing. In the office every now and then, like it'll resurface. It's like, you know, you go through old files, and then you like, one time I found the like sheet, the one sheet, and the edit we made, and all this, and you're like, oh my god, this is the guy that tried to beat Jeffrey Epstein to death before he actually was dead. Like a crazy sort of like thing that I was like, just it like kind of, and then I forget, and then like it re-entered my mind while we're sitting here, like of just a wild little tidbit to throw out there.
What's the chances? It's one of those things that you can't make it up. You just can't make it up.